So yes, this weekend we spent quite some time at St. Pete Comic Con and Scaradise. So want to thank St. Pete Comic Con. I actually bought my ticket for Saturday. They gave me a weekend pass, so that was kind of cool. So I made sure to come back on Sunday, and I gotta get over these guys. Like, seriously? GPS is saying stay on the right lane here, so we'll do that. But anyway, we had a great time hanging out. Ran into Carlo from 4GQ TV. Ran into a lot of cool cosplayers. A lot of them are friends. Made new friends again. I was asked to do some photography, and I said, look, I was only supposed to be there for Saturday at St. Pete Comic Con, and the lady, a young woman, was like willing to pay, and I said I'll do it for free, not a big deal. And I know, people like probably, what are you doing for free for? But she was a nice young lady, and she said she had her ideas on what she wanted to do, and I was like, all right, cool. I can't promise anything, but if I do come back, because they did upgrade me to come back. If I do, then come find me. And I was there before they even opened, like right at the opening. I found parking at the hotel, and that's how fast it was, because as soon as I got there, and people were piling in, finding parking spots, filling them in. And Carlo had called me from GQ TV as he was coming in. And all the spots were full as far as I could tell. I guess he said he had to park across the street. So it was very cool. But yeah, we hung out he introduced me to some people. I met families that are now cosplaying because the children were cosplaying, adult children, not young ones, but adult children were cosplaying, and now that the adult parents are jumping in too. Fluff, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Whoever that is in front of me needed to switch lanes a lot sooner. So, but yeah, we had a good time. Alright, I'm gonna have to make a U-E here. But yeah, we appreciate the extra day. We did go back for today and got some more cosplay. Like I said, 4GQ TV did set me up, introduced me to a few people, and we did do an interview with one of the comic book artists. So we'll probably do a Breaking Bread with Dread with them at some point in the future. We did release you heard it here first, announcement from them. Let me black you guys out right now, sorry, but we gotta black you out for right now. And got a few things I gotta handle. I gotta pull off to the side. don't know if you guys want to watch that for now. I know it's not really exciting. There's no way to do this. How about that? You guys can look at a blurry light. But yes, I had a good time. So shorts will be up soon. We have the interview with the comic book artist. Red Talon is the comic book, and they're on the up and up. They already have 5 out there. I did receive from them 2 comic books, which are the same first edition. One was a variant cover, and he signed both of them, which was really cool. So now I got to get the plastic to put in there and you know, protect the comic books. So that's going to be awesome to see, and I can't wait to read it and give you guys my impressions on it. Like I said, it's a family affair, and it's really cool. Saki, thank you. I don't know how to say the full thing. Unknown dude, what's going on? So that was yesterday and today. And yesterday we got done with I'm trying to do multiple things here. That's why I pulled off. We did there we go. I don't know what you're saying. Saki? Thailand? Is that what that is? This and pardon me for not understanding. I don't have a laptop to convert the language. But afterwards, we ended up going to Scaradise. And we had a good time at Scaradise. Walked around, met up with Joe Belcastro and again 4GQ TV. And of course, this is going to happen now. But Scaradise was really cool. There was a lot of cool celebrities there. Talked to Shotzi. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. She's a wrestler. She's gone independent and she's doing her own thing, rising up the ranks. She used to be with WWE at the time, and tried to get an interview with her, but she says she doesn't do interviews. I'm hoping maybe in the future, if she ever decides, that she would actually consider us to do a Breaking Bread or even a small little interview. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, we had, like I said, we had a blast. And I was hoping to get something to work, but it's not working right now. Let's see, who else? There was the Ghostbusters crew there, so I ended up talking to the Ghostbusters. One of them is a friend of mine that I've known forever, and all right, we're gonna get moving. We've known each other for many, many years, and now he's part of the Ghostbusters crew. Alright, now let's get back on the road. Sorry about that. Just trying to get this set up. better. But yeah, they ran into Amanda. I forget her last name, but she wrote the books for Sir Henry's Haunt. So she's got 3 books and a cookbook, and now she did make I believe she made the announcement that she's working on something else. We'll just leave it at that, just in case. I remember it turned into like a little promo session as we were just talking. I just got to remember what happened in the conversation. Like I said, I don't want to spoil something, but I know she's working on something. We did meet another novelist that we're going to sit down and do an interview with. So that'll be really cool. What else do we have? Yeah, I don't, Sashi, I don't know what you're saying still. I'm sorry. But I appreciate your commenting. I appreciate you being here. And anybody else that decides to jump in for 5 seconds or the whole time. I'm trying to remember, there was a lot that was going on. A lot of cool cosplays at both places. Yeah, this year's big theme over at Scaradise was Scream. They had panels galore. Biff from Back to the Future was there. He actually sat down next to Brad and Amanda to sit down to watch a panel, and then realized it was his panel that he was watching, so he had to get up and get into his panel. So that was some cool little funny thing. I don't know if he did that on purpose because I wasn't there to see it, or if it was truly by accident. Yeah. Me, I think I would want to do something like that too. It'd be like, oh, I'm supposed to be there. Yeah, I heard there was a really cool panel up here, so I sat down to go watch, and oh, that was supposed to be me. Never mind. But yeah, we had some jokes. We had some good time. We laughed with the Mr. Pip people as they came through. Eddie, what's going on? Yes, I do know that. Thank you. Appreciate your concern. Just please try not to write too much of a sentence, because I can't listen to the whole comment. The text to voice sometimes blurps. I have to like re-listen to it. But I appreciate your comment. I appreciate your concern. But yeah, we had a good time with Scaradise. Like I said, we walked around with Joe and Carlo, talked to a few people. And it's cool to network like that, you know. I did my own networking with the vendors. Joe brought us over to another vendor, and it was Meme something. I can't remember the name, but we hung out there for a bit. If I find it, I'll I'm sure it's on the 360 camera somewhere. Meme Scare or something like that. But what they do is they take popular pictures and then put horror icons in their place. So Joe actually bought one of the pictures, and he had told us, you know, hey, guess which one I bought. And Carlo picked one. I can't remember which one. He picked the Scream one where it was the ghost face. I guess it's called. I want to call it Scream 2 or something like that. Scream, but it's that ghostly face, and it's all wavy and stuff like that in the night. And but he had it just, you know, focused in on it, and they had Ghostface in it instead of the actual master painter's works. And that wasn't it. I looked over, and I don't know. I know this work. I just don't remember who did it. But it's basically a guy leaning over and writing something, and you kind of see him, like his arm just stretched over, writing on a desk. And they actually had it as the Crypt Keeper's face, so it was like the Crypt Keeper's writing. And Joe Belcastro is a writer, so he writes novels and stuff like that. He's just a writer. So I figured that was like it, you know, like the undertones of, like, he's a writer and this guy's writing a novel. Joe just released a horror novel in October, and then he released the second part, the book 2, on Friday the 13th in February. And I figured, oh, here, you know, here's the undertones, you know, like innuendo, you know, inside story stuff. And that wasn't it. He bought the one where it was crossing the Potomac River, and it was all the horror icons as it's supposed to be Washington, and all the crew members paddling across. So, again, interesting little stories, tidbits. I did talk to was it Hollow Scream Tampa Bay for Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay. So I did talk to them. So maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to get in and get some, not even behind the scenes, but an actual purposely like behind the scenes / build set. Hopefully Busch Gardens likes what I do, and as far as I know, I think they are aware of me, but I am not sure on how well they're aware of me, because I know that some people with a lot higher number but I'm hoping that maybe some of my knowledge and my background will help me gain their trust. If you have any questions about either one of these conventions, you know, St. Pete Comic Con and Scaradise, just feel free to comment. Just so you know, if you don't realize, Scaradise used to be Spookala. There was some people that they had to change the name. And it's for those of us that as Spookala, and now we're, you know, trying to remember Scaradise, it's throwing me off. I know that. I just got used to, liking the old name, but now we have, this is the permanent name from here on out. And last year I missed it. I was just too busy. You can't get to everything. You know how it is. You can't do everything, but you try to do what you can. And so I missed it last year. I missed Halloween season last year also. But we will be we'll be working towards going there this year. And again, hopefully everything fits in the timing with everywhere else we're going. And I'm hoping that now we have a little bit more availability, that we will be able to accommodate that, all the different places. And there is the St. Pete Comic Con people are also doing another convention in August, and that'll be their horror convention. So I'm hoping to go there. I haven't been to that one yet, and this one here is going to be at a new location. So I'm hoping we can make that happen. And, again, I'll pay my own way in, not a big deal. I think it'd be interesting. And as far as I know, this is the first year St. Pete Comic Con was at a new location. They were usually at the Coliseum. This year they went to Marriott in St. Pete. The horror convention that they're doing is going to be in a Hilton. I don't know which Hilton yet, but I'm sure it's on their website. And I think actually the next three conventions, what was it? There was the horror one, there's another one, then there's a holiday. I can't remember what the other one was. So they're back to back in them. We still have Tampa Bay Screams to go to in May, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to Rhonda Shear. I was supposed to meet up with her last time, but because of scheduling, I wasn't able to make it. So we are hoping to. The plan is to make it. There is no hoping. The plan is we're going to make it there for that one. And now we have Tales of Terror, Leprechaun's Return or something. I think it was the Leprechaun's Return. So we missed them this past haunt season. So we're going to try to see if we can get in there for this one. I don't know if we'll be able to get media access. And if we do, we'll get it to you. If we don't, I'll see what I can get during the haunt, if they'll let me do something like that. So we'll see what we can get. We'll see what is possible. I'm hoping to get it. And then that way we can get it out to you guys to see what they're doing. Hold on, we gotta darken up a little bit. So there's a lot of stuff happening. We got Fuel Fest coming up. So if you guys like cars and drifting, and it's not just Fast and Furious, but there's a lot of stuff going on set up. Trying to think of what else is out there to get you guys excited for. Oh, we got Strawberry Festival. I got to figure out how I'm going to get the Strawberry Festival over in Plant City. I want to document that. I haven't been there to show you guys what you're missing. I think it would be a lot of fun. Maybe even if I can get the family to go, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know what kind of rides we'll even go on, because the more and more death dealers more cautious of these rides. So more and more, there's less and less people taking care of watching the build of the rides. All right, let's get you guys back up here. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for the 2 vlogs. Like I said, I got the 360, I got the vlogs of walking around and showing off the vendors. Did a couple interviews. I did do some talks with some of the some vendors, but I was just recording with the 360, so it really wasn't an interview, but it was just, some chit-chatting. Milfy, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. I was just going over St. Pete Comic Con and Scaradise and all the up and coming events that we're working our way to attending. You still got to watch Screamin' 7? All right, well, I still got to watch Scream 7. I was too busy this weekend to get the Scream 7. I do want to rewatch all of them back to back to back to back. And I know you're looking for our opinions, so we will be working our way to getting them. Excuse me, I didn't mean to do that. You and Death Dealer should do horror movie reviews on the channel. Yes. That was the plan for Files of Horror, was when we watch these movies to do that. She just gets wrapped up and moving on to the next thing, and what I just need to do is have her sit down one day and just go over, here's this movie's topic for this week, and just one by one, let her just dish it out, because she's like watching these movies constantly, and me, I don't have enough time to do that. So, but what I need to sit down and do a nice little review on it. So I may have to have her do hers separately, and then when I get a chance to do mine separately, it's so hard for both of us to sit down, just to say, hey, let's sit in front of the camera. We usually just hang out, you know, do our typical household family stuff that we do. It's a great way for me to discover horror movies I may not have heard of. Oh no, for sure, for sure. She, like I said, she watches more than I do because she's got more time to do that than I do. So that's why I'm saying it'd be nice if she could just watch it, sit down, push record. You know, and half the time I've got the cameras with me, so she doesn't even have the camera with her. You know, so when I have it set up, I'm breaking it down and taking it with me. But yeah, you would have loved to go to Scaradise. It was all Scream themed. They did have a lot of space, so they created a lot of backdrops, so that way you can take your photo ops with the different backdrops. I was kind of joking around with the Ghostbuster guys that were there. They were going from one to the next. I did sit down at one, and it was like a 70s talk show style, and that would have been cool to do a 70s talk show, on, you know, at least a talk show interview or something like that, with that backdrop. Is this a haunt? No, it's a Scaradise is actually a haunt. It's more of a pop culture haunt convention, so it's not really a haunted convention, spooky convention, or anything like that, horror convention. It's more of a pop culture, but they do focus in more on haunts and horror, and well, not haunts, but horror movies and stuff like that. So they are more on the spooky side of a convention, but it's popular stuff. Like I said, you would have loved going down there. Like I already have a video from like I want to say a couple years ago when I went last, and so stay tuned. I did do the recording. I do have 360 footage. I did get yelled at for recording the celebrities. I was trying to let you guys know what the celebrities were, but I got yelled at, so I had to stop recording. But I do have some on the 360, but I will cut that part out, because again, I want to be respectful of not only the celebrities but the organization that, you know, Scaradise themselves, because they did do that, you know. Yeah, well, you know, celebrities want you to get pictures of them with them, or pay for their pictures. They want you, because again, you got to remember, some of these celebrities, they're not making money anymore. So when they go to these conventions, they rely on the money from the convention to make a living. I saw Shannon Elizabeth from American Pie. I wanted to go talk to her, but she was busy. But she had like barely no one there. No one there. And I'm like, are you kidding me? She's beautiful. And, you know, every boy's fantasy at that time, you know, you wanted to be that idiot that, yeah. Exactly, that's the thing. They fell off. So again, you gotta understand, they're trying to make a hustle too. So if you're getting a free shot, you know, you can understand why they're trying to protect the celebrities. So, you know, it is what it is. Milfy, she's still smoking hot. She's still smoking hot. Even Death Dealer would admit that. But yeah, like I said, it's being respectful to everybody. If they don't want it, don't be, just because you're there and you can, don't be an ass or an idiot trying to do stuff like that. So once they told me they don't want that, I okay, no problem. I put my camera down. I selfied it, and like I said, I got to go back through there and edit that stuff out. But I was just trying to go through and let you guys know what you missed. Let you guys know who would be out there if I was able to do it soon enough. And unfortunately, I did 2 conventions in one day, which means I had no time to edit, no time to do anything. I barely posted anything. I found one that was still on my phone that I hadn't offloaded from my phone, so I posted it on Instagram. But then I forgot when I posted it on Instagram that I had the guy's information, so I got to redo it and link him up for his information. It's only right. Yeah, I could do that. Like I said, I still have the 360 recording, but again, it's being respectful of others. If they don't want to be recorded, then that's fine. I mean, if you're in public, that's a different story, but I still don't think you should be an asshole about it. Between I don't want to be recorded when, legally you're out in public, you're being recorded 24/7 anyway. You just don't know it. It's just now you see this guy with a camera and you're being an asshole, and then on top of that, if the guy, if they're saying, hey, look, I don't consent, and it's like, okay, well then don't come next to me. I'm not recording you. I'm recording somebody else. Now, where am I? I want to say, I don't know. I think I'm in Hillsborough County. I'm not sure. But I'll tell you, I'm in Central Florida. How's that? So, but that's the thing, if someone says, if you're inside somewhere and they say we don't want you recording, then you should respect that. I paid to go in there. They could kick me out. So what's it worth to record? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. But again, what's it worth to go in, record somebody, and then end up getting kicked out or banned from the event? It's not even worth it. So half the times, even though you might be in the right, why do you have to be a dick? You know what I mean? So it's all about being respectful. That's why I don't care. Like I said, I'll go through, I'll cut it out. Not a big deal. And I've seen guys, go back and do stuff like that where they'll go over and they'll sneak stuff. And again, you're at a private event. If that's what their wishes are, that's what their wishes are. But I didn't have any issues with voice actors or the who else were they? There was so many people over at St. Pete Comic-Con with the Celebrity Road. Nobody gave me any issues about recording anything. Again, I also wasn't just trying to record them to get anything. You also got to remember, if you do something silly, people find that recording and focusing on a silly face or a silly gesture, so I understand, they want to keep their best foot forward, per se. And if they're charging for photo ops, that's the way they're making their money. I know Carlo at 4GQ TV did some interviews with some of those celebrities. Oh, thank you, Death Dealer. She sent me a floating heart. So, like I said, I know some of them did interviews. I got an interview with one of the comic book artists that Carlos set me up with. There'll be more with that. I was able to be you heard it here first. Once I release it, I got to edit that video and get it out this week. And but they're really cool. It's for Red Talon. And they do have merch, so they have shirts. I've got posters, obviously the comic books and a novel. And it's all cohesive within the Red Talon storyline. Death Dealer sent me a thumbs up. Aw, thanks, babe. Thanks for the heart and the thumbs. But yeah. Oh, Death Dealer, I don't know if you noticed, but Milfy wants you to do more of the reviews of the movies, so he'll know movies that you like and don't like. So we got to get it set up so when you watch a movie, you can sit down, push record, and get your thoughts out, and then we can put it up there, because he wants to watch more movies that he's never heard of, and he wants your opinion, not just my opinion. So we'll have to figure out a way to set it up to make it easy for you. Yeah, exactly. So we'll have to set it up, push record, get your thoughts out. We'll do another one. And I know you want to do like quick and easies, so maybe we'll do shorts versions, or maybe we'll do both, a full-fledged, and we'll cut it down for shorts. I don't know. Definitely need. Oh yeah, that's right. I did tell you, Death, that Milfy wants Sir Henry's. Everything we have, Sir Henry's, of all the shirts that we have. I'll have to pull them out and set them aside and make sure we don't wear any, so that way they're all nice and clean and not getting worn. Because we wear them like every other day, which is funny. If it's not me, it's Death. If it's not Death, it's Tiny Giant. Yes, I am crazy. I know Death owns a Chucky t-shirt. I believe one or two of them, right? Bray, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. How are you doing, man? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Yeah, he's not the main focus. I thought you had one that was kind of like the main focus. That there was a white one, or it was kind of like a silhouette, or not silhouette, but like an outline. You're doing good. That's good to hear, Bray. Glad you're doing good. Glad you're here too. Chucky is my horror movie killer. Nice. Yeah, I bounce back and forth between Freddy and Michael Myers. I like each one for what they are. He's on 2 shirts. Okay, I would have sworn one of them, it was him, like, not the main focus of the shirt, but it was like a Chucky shirt nonetheless. All right, maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I thought it was like one of those 70 shirts with the colored collars and the colored end of the sleeve. But I might be misremembering. So we got, let's see, Scaradise. Like I said, was fun. Great place to go. It's huge single. It's inside one of the it's inside the fairgrounds in one of the buildings. So you literally, it's all open floor space, and what they've done is they've sectioned it off. So it's all encumbered into one. We have a Universal shirt with him, I think. That might have been the shirt. I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking of a white one with like outlines and colors. If you don't mind, what am I driving? I am driving a car. I'll tell you, it's a Nissan. But yeah, I'm not sure if Death Dealer is going to come with me to Tales of Terror. She's been back and forth. Maybe you guys can convince her for the Leprechaun's return. But we will be going. They just announced today at Sir Henry's for their Ghost Town and Barbecue. So that'll be exciting. You want barbecue? Oh Lord have mercy. Yeah, I know. I just hope that some of these barbecue places stop doing the fancy barbecue stuff. That's what gets me. It's like, why make it? Why do all this extra? You know, when they do extra, it ruins it. And I love barbecue. I wanna find another barbecue place. Get some more barbecue again. Although maybe we should make a trip out to Buc-ee's. Yeah, because people want to be extra. Yeah, unfortunately, people do want to be extra. I don't know why they do stuff like that. Again, I understand you want to stand out, be different. But why are you overdoing it? You know, some of them, what they'll do is, like the last one we had, they put, and there's nothing wrong with it, but, and I get it, it was easy for them to serve it out, but why can't we just have a freaking sandwich, right? Give me a pork sandwich. I want a barbecue pork sandwich or a barbecue brisket sandwich. Yeah, I understand if you don't want to do the ribs because it's too much. I get it. Just do the pork sandwiches. Just give me a sandwich, right? Why give me a cup? Put the meat in there, you put mac and cheese in there, and you put beans in there. It's like, why? Why is it all together? I don't want to eat it all together. I know it's going in the same place, but sometimes some people don't want all that stuff together. I want to be able to taste each item separately. You know? Some of us don't like coleslaw. Yeah, I definitely do not like coleslaw. I know you don't like coleslaw. Tiny Giant could go either way. I know most times she usually tries it. She has a few bites and then she's done with it. She's not really a huge fan of it, I guess you would say. Yeah, see, not everybody likes coleslaw. There's a lot of people that just aren't feeling it. I don't like cabbage in general. So why you know what I mean? But we have access to media night for Sir Henry, so we'll be there for that. I just have to register all of us to go, and then we plan on going back. And I know media night, they usually don't have They usually don't have anybody set up for the barbecue stuff, because again, it's media night, so they're probably not expecting anybody to buy anything. But at what was it, Pemberton's? At Pemberton Haunted Acres, they do have media night, and they do have food that you could buy and you can sample and you can do your review on and this and that for the place that does their barbecue for you. That is a funny question. Yeah, Death Hero saying yay, she's excited. Where are we going? Milfy, when are you two going to move into Sir Henry's? LOL. Yes, that is the good question. When are we going to move? I don't know. It takes us like 2 hours to get there. And when you have a travel like that every day, we had a great time. Don't get me wrong. We had a great time. But the traveling back and forth really sucked. You know, if we lived a lot closer, we may have found a new home, you know, at that time. But it's just too far away. You two should have turned your house into a haunted house. Well, if you ask Death Dealer, sometimes it is haunted. I walk around and scare her, and I'm just walking around the corner. You thought this place was near with the amount of times you've been there? No. It's one of the closer places. Your house is haunted? At least decorated like you want. Yeah, we do. I want to do a little bit more redecorating, other than having a lot of bodies in the back, and I would like to do a little bit more on the redecoration side of it. Like the entertainment center, I'd like to make it more eclectic. I think that would be kind of cool. But yeah, we have a lot of themes of haunted things around here and there, but you know, you gotta remember, you can't sell a house if you ever want to sell it when it's set up too much, if you do too much to it. So if we ever wanted to move, we'd have to redo the house to be sellable, even in the just with pictures. So I don't want to do too much that we can't reverse it easily. So if it's taking down photographs, that's easy stuff. The frames being all cool looking and stuff like that, not an issue. The entertainment center, not an issue. The couch, not an issue. It's all the walls and the little things like that. And before I forget, congrats to the 5 gifted memberships, to those that have gotten it. So it looks like Sebastian, Boss something, Kennard, Judah, Judzilla. Yeah, congrats to those guys. Judzilla's a friend too, so glad that everybody gets you know, gets a piece of the gifted memberships. I've always suffered with motion sickness. Yeah, that sucks, Milfy. You know, they have those bracelets. I don't know if that helps. Thank you again, Death Dealer, for the thumbs up. Those rubies. Um, what was I saying now? Oh, they got those bracelets for people with motion sickness. I don't know if that would help. I mean, it all depends on what's causing the motion sickness. You take the train or bus anywhere. Yeah. Luckily for that's a good thing. So is it just car sickness? Have you ever been on a boat? There's patches that work too. Yeah. You've never been on a boat. Well, you'll find out fast if there's a problem with the boat. You'll find out real fast. And that's not... Yeah. I guess he's never been on a boat. Well, we're looking at doing a cruise. We keep talking about it. Death keeps on going back and forth on, nah, I ain't doing it. And then, I'll think about it. We gotta find a good cruise for her to get on first and do a shorty so that way she can see what it's like. Never been on a boat or a ship. Not even a ferry boat? I guess not. Speaking of ferry boats, you know who's in a ferry boat? Scream Boat. I got to watch the movie. Got to watch it before everybody else. Before it hit theaters. Before it went DVDs. And we own the DVD. But it's not for children, so we haven't been able to really watch it with Tiny Giant around. Death, have you been able to watch Scream Boat? In case you're wondering, Scream Boat is a mouse of Mickey now that it hits public domain, which was Steamboat. Yeah, you don't get motion sickness very often. I know there's been times in the car, but at least it hasn't been bad. So that's a good thing. And yes, the old merch store is up. The new merch store is up also, so if there's anything on the old merch store before it goes away, feel free to go get it, but I would suggest looking over the new merch store versus the old and go there first. But if there's something old, because there are items being discontinued, and we are transitioning from old to new. I was giving it a couple years so that way everybody has a chance to find what they want. Those Tiny Giant book bags have been discontinued from the manufacturers, And the new the fourth wall store, so the new merch store does not have those small ones, which is why I've been holding off as long as I can. So if they ever get restocked, you can still go to the old one and get some of those if you wanted to. I know Game Complainers bought one and he's pushed out that he uses it like every single day. Loves it. Loves the design that Tiny Giant came up with when she was younger. Um, but we got to transfer it over, and unfortunately, they don't have at the new store little bags like that or something similar to transfer it over to. So, again, I've left it up longer than I wanted to, but doing it for you guys so you have the opportunity. If you want to get something, you're good to go. But in the meantime, I'm pushing the newer store. We have glasses, we've got shirts, even Death Dealer has a shirt there. And we are working on a couple more shirt designs for Death Dealer, myself, and the toy makers. And if you don't know who the toy makers are, that is our haunts. That is our group that does haunts. So if you buy a toy maker shirt, that goes to all of us, which is also mom included. You know, and that stuff helps us get around, buy new equipment, update our equipment, add to our equipment, whatever you want to call it, and also helps us, you know, go to certain places. So every little bit helps. And we appreciate you guys for checking out the stores if you do decide to buy or not. And so does memberships. I hate doing this part of the advertising thing, but that's what they tell us. We gotta talk about it. If you don't know about the memberships, why would you want to subscribe to it? So if you look it up and see that you want to be a member, cool. If not, cool. That being said, but yeah, if you get a chance, I like Streamboat Willie. I know Death is going to be kind of with it, but if you like, put it this way, if you like those movies like The Grinch, was it Pooh, where they're all the characters gone bad. If you like that style of horror, then you should like Screamboat. Screamboat would be good for you. There's so much stuff I want to talk about, you know, but I don't want to like ruin it. But I think after we've acknowledged that most of us have already seen it, then I would say at that point in time, let's go ahead and talk about some of the props that they made that they had talked about after the movie premiered, or not premiered, but when they did the previews that we got to get to watch it. Ooh, someone ran into something bad. Yeah, they gave us some inside stories about certain things. It was like, oh, that's so cool. And to be honest, I would love for Death Dealer to finish. I know she started it, but she was doing something, and I would love for her to do either finish that one or start up another one and use Sir Henry's as a background. And Death knows what I'm talking about. haven't thought about it in months. Yeah, I know. I forgot about it too. I know we talked about it, but it just, you gotta be in the mood. If you're not in the mode to do what we talked about, me constantly bugging you about it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? But when the ideas start popping in the head and it starts going from pen to paper, I think it'd be best. Yeah, you should. I think it would be good. It'd be a good start. But again, you know, if you end up with writer's block, you got to find something to get around it. And we've been busy anyway. You know, we've had so much going on at the end of the year, and now we're playing catch up from all of last year. So yeah, you know, if there's time, why not? I guess we're going this way. And I'll let you guys figure out what we're even talking about. And if you're right, we won't tell you. And if you're wrong, we won't tell you. You'll find out after we have the end product, if it ever happens. Wow, that plane is flying quite low. I know Death hasn't asked me much about St. Pete Comic Con or Scaradise. Any questions that you might have? Milfy didn't know that Scaradise was a convention. He was wondering if it was a movie or something. Which it could be a movie. It could be a movie. Did I see a good cosplay? Yes, I did see a good bit of great cosplay. I told you about the one mom, and Milfy would probably enjoy this one, because I'm friends with her daughter. We've done a lot of videos with her daughter, which I had mentioned earlier in the stream that. When I say daughter, she's a young lady, and she had seen me, and she was in full costume, so I couldn't even see her. And normally it was, as the parents, they were just hanging out, you know, going around and all that, and so I had no idea, but it was a Lady Deadpool, all white with pink accents, and she actually had eyelashes. So it was just funny, you know. And then she, you know, obviously ponytail and all that. And so she waved at me, and I kind of waved back like, do I know this person? And then as we ran into each other again later on, and I was like, hey, you know, can we get some video? And she said, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. She was all excited. She's like, you always get my daughter, da 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 da. And it's really cool that you're gonna record me too now. I don't know why it was so awesome. AK, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Man, I'm sorry. We'll just call you Ack. How's that? Sorry about that. I don't know how to pronounce that, so my apologies. But welcome in. Thank you for stopping in and enjoying this. Well, so we did some video, did a couple things. I was like, all right, how about we do this? And she did this stuff. It was really cool. The ending of it was perfect. She was so excited that we got this recording and everything worked out. And it was like, wow, holy cow, that it worked out as planned. And I ended up running into her again with her husband, and her husband was dressed up as Deadpool, so we did something. Yeah, mom and cosplay. Yep. Who here wants to see Death Dealer doing some cosplay? Yes, I know Milfy. Yes, husband. No, but he does 3D printing, so he offered to walk me through with some 3D printing stuff. So he even gave me a 3D printed NFC tag. So I thought he was trying to NFC it, and I was like, oh, I don't have mine turned on, and I don't know how to find it. And they ended up telling me, oh, it's in your Bluetooth settings after the fact. Later on, so I guess I was like, oh, okay. But no, they're a really nice family. They're very supportive of each other, which is good to see. Did I put that video up? No, not yet. I still have to edit all this stuff. I haven't even had a break to edit anything. I got home, offloaded all the video from the cameras, passed out, said I was going to work on them in the morning, ended up just kind of relaxing in the morning, got up and went back to St. Pete Comic-Con, and then got home, passed out, forgot to offload any videos, and back at work. But trust me, you're gonna love the 2 videos I have of that mom. She's a really cool person, and she did good for a female Dreadpool, Lady Dreadpool, however you want to call it, Lady Dreadpool. They got some construction work over here. I liked her cosplay. Yeah, yeah. I showed it to Death, and she loved it. As you can see, she's saying she liked it. The one turned out really good. No, actually, they both did. How's that? They both turned out really good. Really? How far down is this gonna go? Have we ever cosplayed before? Well, let's see. We dressed up as horror actors, so that's a form of cosplay. And she has a few times. She's dressed up as Princess Leia in the slave outfit. She's done the Padme in white, but also did it was like a mix of Padme / Leia, but all in white. Can I go through here? No. You know, we've done Greek gods, so we've done stuff like that. Again, we've done all the horror stuff. So we've created our own characters, and not just Halloween, but like big time. Done, yes, Zombie Cinderella. You've also done Malice, which is the Dark Alice, basically. I like the Dark Alice one, Malice. I like that one. The Zombie Cinderella was cool. Oh, remember that one time, babe? When you had your sisters dress up as Disney princesses for someone's birthday? One was like Rapunzel. You also did dress as Belle. One of them dressed up as Rapunzel, and the other one dressed up as, was it Sleeping Beauty or something like that? Can't remember what you had them dress up as. Snow White and Rapunzel, okay. We used to love doing all this stuff, and then we would get Tiny Giant all these little princess dresses, and she would hate them. She didn't want to dress up as a princess because she wasn't a princess. She's not a princess. I do not know what these guys are doing. She did love her tutus. So, Death went to a Comic-Con near the house with Tiny Giant, and Mom had sewn a top that was like Boba Fett's mask, and she also did a top that was like Darth Vader's chest piece, and then it had like little tutu dresses on for her underneath. And I'm trying to remember where I gotta go here. I think it's this way. Well, anyway, they loved her so much with the design that they asked if we could, if they could put her on like the advertisement for the place. And trust me, I love those outfits too. Those are cute. We were actually talking about it today. Maybe doing something for the adults and something for the kids. But I gotta let you guys go. I appreciate you guys stopping in. Thank you, Death Dealer, for the jewels, whatever they're called, rubies that you sent. I appreciate that. Thank you all for hanging out and all that fun stuff. And we will talk again another one. Take care.